I probably am not doing that.
Welcome back to Breaking Waves. Our goal is to combine surfing and sailing. So 4 years ago, we bought our 41-foot sailboat and taught ourselves to sail in some of the trickiest waters in Canada. We put a lot of work into restoring her to her former circumnavigating self. And 9 months ago,
Our first offshore passage!
we head offshore and are finally living our dream. In this week's episode, though, we are trading in a keel for a set of 4 wheels and moving down the coast on an epic surf trip along the Mexican Pacific mainland coast.
Got a little bit off track. We're trying to go south to Manzanillo. What I see?
What do you see?
A left hand wave with no butt exit.
Woo!
That looks fun.
Our first stop was Latikla.
Find out. What do you think of our beachfront accommodations?
I love it. It's pretty dreamy.
It's pretty.
It's definitely low end. Like
It's not bad.
There's nothing in there but a bed, and that's fine. But because we're gonna spend all our time outside. But the dreamy part is this like location and the fact that we're gonna have nothing to do for the next couple days except for like surf maybe morning and night, and then in the middle of the day we just laze around in the hammock and play guitar and whatnot.
Allie's taking a week off of editing. She's gonna take a vacation.
I did bring my computer though.
I'm supposed to be taking a vacation, but I'm so busy at work right now that I think I'm gonna end up working. So maybe Allie will also work. We'll see. Either way, I'm stoked. This is like direct access to the surf. We got a couple hammocks. Got everything we need, really.
I better do something I'm good at then, eh?
Our room had 2 beds and a bathroom. So we dropped our stuff, grabbed our surfboards, and headed out into the waves. The water was warm, the sun was out, and we were all enjoying relaxing on land for a bit, especially Bruce. spent about 4 days here, surfing the mornings and sunsets and editing or working during the days. Until the swell got a little bit too big and we decided to continue on down the coast.
Hello.
Taco!
Oh yeah, so cute.
Third spot we're checking today. Ben's a bit frothy for waves and is considering getting in waves that look like they would smash my bones into little pieces, but he's keen. So we are at the third beach checking her out. I probably am not doing that. Minute.
Looks better over here than it did down further.
It definitely does. It's a little bit more peely, but will always be the best food. Man once told me that a true off-roading vehicle is a rental.
I said, how do you feel knowing that this is as far south as we're going to go on this adventure, on this current adventure? I feel good about it. I didn't know, when we left Canada, I didn't really know what the game plan was exactly, and if you had told July 2022 Ben that we would make it as far, even if it's just on a road trip, I would have been stoked to hear that. So it's a good chunk of the way down the Mexican coastline.
Yeah.
We explored the coastline all the way down to Lazaro Cardenas, where we had dinner and stocked up on pesos and food and fuel before heading back to our next chosen spot. Now, there are not as many waves in the world as there are surfers, so the surf community gets pretty grumpy when a spot gets blown up on the internet. I can't tell you where this is, but I can tell you that it is a very cute little town on a river mouth that has a left-hand point break in front of it that was pumping.
I've been to a bunch of little surf towns over the years, and I gotta say, this is probably one of the cooler ones. Helps that it's a left wave, which I love, but yeah, I like the zone. This spot's cooler. It's like a little more rustic, right on the beach. What a nice spot, really. Yeah, lots of space. It's got a kitchen. It's got a cool patio and hammocks. It's cool. We're into it.
Something I am absolutely in love with in Mexico is how simple things are here. I just hung out with a kid for a good 15-20 minutes who was playing with like a string and a top, and he was so stoked on it, and then I played guitar with him and whatever you guys saw. But it's just kind of like there's less computers here, there's less addiction to your phones, and there's a lot of like siestas and like just hanging out and doing nothing and living off less because of that. Like, it's definitely poor here, but it's a simpler way of living, and I wish I could take a piece of that and bring it back home.
Bruce is chomping away on some ice.
This is like a doggy car wash.
If you're disconnected enough around here, you don't even need a net to play volleyball. You can just imagine it.
I didn't even realize there wasn't a net there. Come on, go.
Hello. Ali tienes frente y una antes.
Soy Cabellos de Gilbert.
So we got invited to a birthday party.
Yeah.
She's turning 6. Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. There's 2 houses down. What the fuck? Pardon my language, but alright, I was not planning on being filmed, so my hair is on the top of my head. And I look a little bit dumb. But these waves are so massive today. They're so beastly. Ben just tried to go out and I was like, are you crazy? Are you absolutely out of your mind? You are going to die. But there are people out there and they are shredding, so it's definitely doable. But getting past the break here is like gnarly, especially because you kind of have to go down to this point, and then it's a little bit easier to get past. But if you go out down, but there's a ridiculous amount of current, and I have videos of it, and it'll just spit you down the beach over here. But then when you get over here, look at this wave. They're like double overhead. And they just flip ya and shore pound you. Like that will break your neck. These waves are murderous. Anyways, I feel really quite bad for Ben. He's frothing to get out there.
I'm a kook and I can't get out.
But that's an intense break to get past. Ah! I got that on camera.
Ben wasn't the only person having difficulty with the swell. I met a couple people who also couldn't make it past the break, and this guy snapped his board trying to make it out.
So I licked my wounds. We licked our wounds from those big waves. And we're just cruising down the coast here, seeing if we can find anything a little bit more manageable. It's hot as balls. This looks like a bunch of closeouts. Move along. We're both pretty excited to pack up, hit the road, go back to Barra. Like I said, we might stop at Latikla on the way and maybe get one last good surf session in. But either way, back to the boat. We've got like a few days until we fly back to BC for the summer. So we're both pretty excited. I think we're both pretty ready to get back to Canada and enjoy sweet, sweet summer in Canada.
Oh, you're so cute.
Shout out to our patrons who have joined us this past week. Thank you guys so much for joining the team. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, throw us a like, and hit that bell so that you get a notification every time a new Breaking Waves episode comes out. And if you haven't had enough Breaking Waves yet, then why don't you check out last week's episode, which is all about packing up our boat for hurricane season. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you at the next episode.